Hey guys, this is Zero here with my year-end vlog video thing. I'm sorry this is actually pretty late. Reason is because this New Year's Eve I actually went to a party, or a shindig I guess you could say, for this one. So that's why I didn't record it the night of. That's why I'm scratching myself. Also, sorry this is not the most glamorous way to do it. I haven't had a ton of filming time. So I'm literally doing this one morning before work. So I'm going to try and get through this as quickly as I can, because there's actually not a ton I have to talk about, but I wanted to do this video because it's a tradition, and I have some things I want to discuss. So let's start with how I always start off. Let's start off with Christmas, what I got. So I'm going to preface this by saying I didn't get as much stuff as previous years. I know I say that every year, but this year's the first year that I really didn't. Other than clothes and stuff, because that's stuff I needed. And I mean, I'm 27. I don't need my folks buying me video games and stuff. They don't have to. So I did get a few things from them. I got a couple gift cards, so that's totally fine. But yeah, it was mostly just clothes and chocolate and stuff that they gave me, and lots of socks. I know it's like a cliche for Christmas, but I needed lots more socks. So all right, let's just get down to the nitty-gritty. So let's see here. The first thing I want to talk about is my brother's girlfriend Megan, who for those of you who watch Power Plays may have seen on one or two videos. Excuse me. She got me this Stormtrooper mug, which is awesome because I love Star Wars. It's one of the things I'm really nerdy about. And I needed... Oh, I'm just going to stop that. The top comes off. I needed a new mug for work, and one of my coworkers actually has like a Doctor Who mug where the top comes off, so this is my... This is my response to that. I have a Stormtrooper mug. She was going to get me the Darth Vader or R2-D2 ones, but they weren't as detailed, so she's like, this one would probably be the best. And I trust her judgment because she's as big of a Star Wars fan as I am, so what's inside of this isn't something that she gave me, but something my brother gave me. He gave me actually a box of Stash Premium Green Tea. I don't know if this is available everywhere, but Stash is some of the good premium green tea bags. I normally buy bulk green tea because it's cheap, but he got me a whole box of Stash, so I've got a stash of good green tea now. I've become kind of a tea connoisseur, I guess. Well, mostly green tea, because green tea is good, it's cleansing and whatnot, so yeah. Something else my brother also got me, and I'll preface this in a moment, is he got me a controller, I think it's a Duracell Energizer, I don't know, one of the battery companies, a controller charging station for PS4 controllers, because I have a PS4 now. I actually have one or two games I'm going to review for it fairly soon. But I got the Battlefront PS4 with the Darth Vader face on it. So, there's that. So I have a PS4 now, and I have a handful of games. He actually got me some games beforehand when I got my PS4 as like a pre-Christmas gift. So, and I actually don't think I have those in the stack right here. So, one second. Alright, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed that jump cut. So I went to go grab off the shelf the games my brother got me when I got my PS4, because these technically counted as Christmas gifts. He got me Injustice Gods Among Us, the Ultimate Edition. I've been playing... He got this for PS3, and I played a bunch of it. So now I have a version for myself, for my PS4, and with all the additional content. So it's pretty fun. I haven't played a ton of it because I've been playing other games on my PS4. Other than Battlefront, I also bought myself Fallout 4 and a couple other games. So ESO is another one. So mostly been playing those. But yeah, I got Injustice from my brother, so I got that. And another game that I've always wondered about, but never actually played. And now that I've gotten the chance to play, this may appear on Power Plays for many many times in the future. We'll see what happens. But he got me Trials Fusion for the PS4, which is this wacky game. It's kind of like, the way I would explain it is it's kind of like Happy Wheels, but like a realistic version of Happy Wheels, because you realistically have to adjust how your bike works mid-air and all that stuff. It's wacky as shit. Like, I love this game. I can stop you on it for any moment. But yeah, it's wacky as shit. I love it. I think it's sweet. So yeah, that's Trials Fusion. So yeah, those are the PS4 games my brother got me. I actually got him a modded, you guys can see my gut there for a second. I actually got him a modded, GBA with a backlight, with a backlit or a backlight, and he's loved that. He's been using that non-stop. So there you have it. I'm sorry I keep you on it, but again, I'm doing this in the morning. I'm trying to have energy. I thought I gave myself like an entire half an hour to wake up. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm a wreck. The internet all knew that anyway. So, let's move on here. Every year at my grandmother's place, not every year, but pretty much every year, we do a gift exchange between family members. So, my cousin got my name, my cousin Hillary, and she picked up a couple games for me, not really knowing probably what I like. So, she went to an EB Games where she lives now, and I guess she somehow got an idea of the games that I play. I don't know if she found out about my YouTube channel and like that, or, but she went into EB, she's like, alright, what do you think this guy would want? And I guess the EB rep knows me fairly well, so even though I don't go to EB in her town that often. But anyways, she picked me up Tales of Grace's F, which I've actually been looking for a long time. I passed this game up like so many times. I could have bought it so many times, but I was waiting for the price to go down, and I was hemming and hawing. But yeah, Tales of Grace's F is a game that I've been looking for a while, and I don't know how they knew that I didn't have this. So now I have all the PS3 Tales games, I think, except Zillia. But I think Zillia is also on PS4. I can't remember. But yeah, so I have a lot of Tales games to play. She also picked me up Enslaved, Odyssey to the West, but I think I have this for 360. I think I do. So this one may get returned, but she said, I didn't know if you had the games or not, so she gave me a receipt so I could return it. So I don't know about this one. I don't remember if this one was if I had this for 360 or not. I'm pretty sure I do, but if I don't, that's another game to play. I know this game was one that went down to bargain bin pretty quick, but I don't know. I've heard some decent things about it, so we'll see. So there's that. So, other than a few other things like gift cards and clothes and stuff, that pretty much does it for Christmas for me. There are other things, but I'm only going to mention what's important at this point. I'm not going to go through every little minor detail, every little thing, and talk about them. So, but yeah, so I think there's friends that got me stuff, and I'm probably forgetting who got me what, and I'll try my best to make sure I detail that. There is one thing that's not going to be documented in this unless it gets here beforehand. I'm going to intercut. My buddy Vegeta396 apparently got me a late Christmas present. He didn't have to. I told him he didn't have to, but he did. So that's probably not going to make it on the video just because of time. By the time it comes in, because he has to ship it to me. So, anyways, let's talk about Boxing Day. So I got some deals on some games on Boxing Day. So I picked up a couple of PS4 games I've been wanting. And I'm going to start with Final Fantasy Type 0. This game is Day 1 edition too. This game is Black Friday, they had it on sale for $20, and I didn't pick it up, and I was kicking myself for not doing so. I was lucky on Boxing Day that it was down again for the same price, so I was like, screw it, I'm not waiting, I'm picking this up now. This is one of the games I wanted to play on the next generation, or the current generation, I guess it is now, and I you see the plastic wrap's still on, so I haven't played it yet, but I'm really excited to play it. I have a lot of games on the go right now. But we'll discuss some of that later. Another one I was, stop yawning, one I was happy to see in physical form, One Piece Pirate Warriors 3. I bought the first one digitally, because, that was the only way you could get it in the States, and I didn't want to, or the States, North America, I didn't want to import, the first game because of the whole DLC thing, and I just thought, screw it, I'll just buy it digitally. But I'm really happy that this one made it in physical form, because I've been wanting these games to be physically. So this one I've got, I'm probably not going to get to this one for a while, just because I'm still playing the first one, and I don't even have the second one, so... but this has got a lot more characters. You're seeing Don Flamingo and Sabo on the front there, so really excited to play this one. But yeah, we'll get to this one eventually. It's Dynasty Warriors One Piece, so there you go. This game I actually already had for PS3. I imported it, but I later found out they released it here in English for PS3 and PS4, and the other reason I picked this up is even though I already had this game, they were selling it for $5, brand new. So I picked up J-Star's Victory versus Plus, or Cross, whatever. This, I mean, have it, one, this game's in English, two, it's on PS4, and three, it was only $5, so, I mean, that's not bad right there. I already bought this game for PS3, but I find the arcade mode of it, or the single-player mode, really hard to play when you can't understand what people are saying, so, this should be interesting. I'm going to probably play the single-player of this and unlock some characters. The unfortunate thing about this is they didn't fix the multiplayer split screen. It's still really terrible, and I wish they had just made it just regular-ass split screen. But maybe that's something that'll eventually get patched. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I did do a power battles or whatever on this game a while ago, and the split screen is just is terrible. You can check that video out if you want to know what I'm talking about, but it's horrible. This is for a multiplayer fighting game. Like, that's horrendous. Like, that's something that should be fixed. But yeah, so now I got the PS4 version, so now I can play it in English. So, there we go. So that's games for Boxing Day. But there's one more thing I actually got. Recently, I've been rewatching the appendices of The Lord of the Rings. For those of you who don't know, those are the special features that come with the extended edition. Something like a crazy amount of hours. Like, each movie has like 5 hours of extra features, bonus features. So, but I had the extended edition DVDs of Lord of the Rings. So I've been waiting for this for a while. So I went ahead and bought the Hobbit extended edition DVD box set. Or no, this is the Blu-ray box set. I decided to go Blu-ray for this one. And I'm currently watching the appendices on this as well, because the appendices is continued on. Because up to part 6 was with Lord of the Rings. They started part 7 on this, and I think I'm on to part 9 because I'm on the Desolation of Smaug. I think that's how you say his name, Smaug. Appendices. Yeah, so I'm getting through that, and then eventually I'm going to watch all the Hobbit movies and all the Lord of the Rings movies together, all extended edition-y. So I'm going to need an entire weekend or longer to watch all these movies in their extended forms. So, yeah, so I'm looking forward to that, and now I have this. I'm really happy this finally came out because I was waiting for this. I'm going to be waiting even longer for the new Star Wars Trilogy box set because the next Episode 8 isn't coming out until 2017, and Episode 9 is coming out until 2019, so we've got a long ways to wait for that. But yeah, so I got this now, too. Okay, so let's talk about something important here. I want to talk about normally what I would put here is my New Year's resolutions, but I don't want to do resolutions because I don't want to just set one sort of thing. I decided this year I'm going to set goals. Because there's things that I want to happen in 2016 that need to happen. And if I just keep sitting on it, nothing's ever going to change. So let me start off with my goals are like, first off, for those of you who don't know and probably can't tell because it hasn't done much for me yet, is I started doing a new workout regimen and I started changing my eating habits. As you can tell, I'm a fat guy, and I'm pretty big. I'm not going to get into how much I weigh, because it's pretty scary. But I started, a friend of mine is working on being, he's training to be like an RCMP officer. So for those of you who don't know, yes, a Mountie, so our version of, I guess, the FBI. And he also was a personal trainer for a while, so he's done me a favor and become sort of my personal trainer. Unfortunately, he's moved away to another city, but I mean, I still talk to him about what to do. He's giving me new workout regiments. Like he actually makes full documents and stuff like that for me to read. So he's taking it very seriously. So I figured, this time I better take it seriously. So as I pick my year, so I started this in September, mostly just basic cardio and basic, stuff. And we're working on what's coming up, but my problem is I can't, I have a problem with keeping up with some of this stuff. I picked a really good time to start doing a workout because the last quarter of 2015 was very stressful for me, incredibly stressful. Some days I would either forget, which is the worst thing. I always forget to do important things like that. And then some days, by the time I would remember, it'd be too late, or I don't care. I wouldn't care anymore. I was just like, I had a shitty day. I just want to sit here and watch stuff. And that's another thing I want to get into. 2015, I guess I should, before I go back into the goals, I'll start with 2015 as a whole. It was a pretty good year for the first half of it. The second half is where things started to go awry. It didn't really happen until the last quarter, and work got really stressful. There were other things in my personal life that I didn't really want to focus on. The first half was really, really good. The second half is where things started to go downhill, and I'm glad that most of those stressful times are over. I'm still really busy. I'm still working 10-hour days, 5 days a week at my job. I barely have any time to work on the stuff that I like working on, which is these videos and playing games with my friends and stuff like that. So I'm trying to find a happy medium where I can put in my workout there. So what I've actually done is, for one of my goals, is I've made it... for the workout stuff is I want to 5 days a week at least get the cardio portion of my workout done, because that's the most important part. And my personal trainer even said, if you're going to do any of your workout, do the cardio part. So every day I have 30 minutes of cardio, which is walking, which I know people are going to say you should be running, but it's been scientifically proven that walking is just as good for you as running. So I've been doing 30 minutes of that a day at least. It's really cold out now because we had a green Christmas, but all of a sudden, Mother Nature got crazy and threw the cold on us. So usually what I'd like to do is get up early and then go outside and do my cardio, but it's been so cold that it's at that point where it's cold enough where if I wore my spring jacket, I'd freeze. But it's also not cold enough to where if I wore my winter jacket, I would just sweat in the jacket and it would be gross. Hold on, there's my phone. So I'm back. What was I talking about? I don't remember. But yeah, cardio 5 times a week at least. I also have some exercises that I do as well. I'm going to try and get those in more too. Just finding the time to do everything because it's been so busy. And also being able to get my videos done and stuff too. So I still, like, at least the cardio I can get done because I've been doing it on breaks at work. So that's the thing. So, let's just move on to other goals I have. So one goal that I particularly have is I've been wanting to make movies for a long time. I just lack the tools to do it, and I lack the means. But now I have a lot of the tools that I can to do low budget or no budget filmmaking. And one of my goals this year is to have 2 scripts, or at least one of those 2 scripts written by the end of the year for a movie I want to make. Because there's 2 movie ideas I have. One of them I kind of really have to get done by the end of the year because I want to shoot it next year at the latest. So I have to get it done. But the other one I've already started on, and it's shaping up pretty nice. I'm not the best script writer, but I know I've acquired some people who, I have somebody who's like an author who's going to be helping me with my script to make sure, the story makes sense. I have a couple friends of mine who do VFX, who said they would be willing to lend their talents for a few shots. Not that I'm expecting a ton of VFX shots for these movies that I'm writing. Nothing I couldn't handle by myself, but I mean, if I need CG, I'm not really trained on that, so I'd get somebody who knows what they're doing. I have a couple people volunteer who said they'd be actors, and that's the biggest thing, because the biggest thing that has been a demotivator for me for making movies is finding people who want to do it and will stick with it and have time to do it. A lot of the times I have movie ideas and I'll film one week and realize I need to do pickups, and then I never get those pickup shots, ever. I actually have I was working on a pilot for a Power Rangers season based off one of the older Sentais that I was going to make, and I never got all the stuff I wanted for it. Like, it just sat there. So that was a failed project. So I don't want that to happen with these movies. I want to be able to, and I'm looking at like at least a week of shooting per one. So I want to make sure I find a cast that's dedicated, and at this point it's not something that I can pay for. So I'm gonna look for people who are basically volunteers at this point. But that's one of the aspirations I have, to make movies, and I want to get at least the scripts done by the end of the year, so I can show people this is what I want to do, and I'm going to need you for like a week or a few weekends or something, whatever it would take to do it. So that's that. Another goal I have is, these are goals for me personally. One thing that I found close to the end of the year is there's a convention that I'm going to that is my first time going. In order to get a deal on the whole thing, I basically had to pay for the flight and the hotel in advance, which normally I don't do. But it was still pretty expensive. So I did that. Then I got this PS4 and other things. So I'm paying off quite a bit of money off my credit card right now. And my savings have really dipped down because of that. And I'm still paying it off because I get paid this week, and I'm probably going to put money on that there. So one of my goals for this year is to save. I need to save as much as I can. I'm resisting the urge to do things like eat out all the time because, one, for the health thing, because one thing I forgot to mention is I've been replacing foods I normally eat with healthier foods. Like, for example, in my lunch I used to take a pudding. I replace that with yogurt. I replace sugary granola bars with like nuts and stuff that's, a little healthier, high in protein, and basic things like fruit subbed in and stuff like that. Drinking less pop, stuff like that. But one of the things I spend a lot of my money on is fast food, unfortunately. It's really easy access, and if I have a really shitty day, I will sometimes like buy Wendy's or McDonald's or something as comfort food and watch something when I get home. I want to stop doing that. That's really bad. and it's such easy access, so it's really hard for me to resist it. So that's one thing that I've been spending money on. Another thing is a lot of like collectible stuff, a lot of like that I don't necessarily need, but I want. I've kind of gone overboard. One thing is Toku stuff. I am so backlogged with Toku stuff that I want to review. There are exceptions, of course, like the new Power Ranger season. I'm like, I want a couple things from that. I'm gonna buy those. I'm dedicated to that. And like, of course, conventions. So I normally don't buy the new Kamen Rider driver, whichever one I decide to get, until convention season, so I can buy it at a convention. So I've already got Icon, so I'm gonna get the Ghost driver. But my thing is buying things throughout the year. I've had several discussions with my family because I still live at home where they don't want me ordering a bunch of stuff, and I've still got things I pre-ordered from last year that have been back ordered to this year. So that's a discussion that's probably gonna have to happen soon. But this is basically me putting my foot down, being like, I can't keep doing this. I need to start saving my money because I don't want to be left with nothing. I have a pretty decent paying job now, and I have learned that I can't save any money. Like, I'm not gonna get into how much what my savings are at right now, but it's low. I have aspirations to move out. I have aspirations to move away, and if I can't even save, my goal is I want to save at least $10,000 by the end of the year. If I can't save that much money, I shouldn't be moving out yet. Even though I should be, because I mean, my office here is in my parents' basement, where the office where I shoot everything is in my parents' basement. So the cliche, and of course I've got a neck beard, whatever. I fit the cliche to a T, and I want out because there's nothing really here for me. I want to learn the ways of the Force and become a Jedi like my father. Anyways, I didn't mean to lead into that quote, but I did anyways. I want to experience things. I realized I haven't taken really any risks in life. Everything I've done has been pretty safe. I've really played it safe with college and a lot of things. So I've been working on, I guess, what you would call the backup plan. So if what I really wanted to do with my life didn't work out, I'd have something to fall back on. At the end of this year, I'm going to have that set in stone. I've worked hard to get that to where I am, and I think I'm ready to move on and take some risks. So I have a couple of aspirations. One of them is I'd like to try and go to film school. There's a program at Toronto Film School that's about 18 months. I'd like to try and go there. If that doesn't work out, the main thing I want to do, Toronto Film School is one, but the main thing I want to do is I want to move in with my buddy CJ, Canadian Jutsu. We've been talking about it for years. I thought by 25 I'd be doing it, but things changed, and a lot of things changed, and it couldn't happen until, it's not going to happen now, closer to sooner than later, because one, it's I want to, and I may spend that year focusing on my channels. Like, I'll probably still work part-time at least, but I want to spend those years focusing on my channels and really put a push for it, because I love doing my YouTube videos, and I want to make movies and stuff, and but the only way that I'm going to get somewhere with that is if I really put a push on it. What I'm doing right now with power plays and my reviews and stuff is really just a hobby at this point. Do I want to make it a job? That's still up in the air. I still don't know about that one. What I would like to do, though, is make it a focus for at least a year, so that I can say, I did. If it doesn't work, I'd be like, well, it didn't work. I guess it wasn't meant to be. At that point, I can choose what I want to do at that point. Either stay with him or move back and get another job in the tech industry. So, tech industry has always been my backup plan, but I enjoy doing it. So, if that's not going to happen, like something happens that I can't move in with him and focus on YouTube and stuff, I want to go to film school. It's I know I've learned a lot about making videos, about making movies, from special features on DVDs like the appendices, to just learning stuff on my own. But I want to actually learn how the filmmaking process works, because I don't actually know that much about it. I know how the process goes, but I've never like done it myself. So, and I think the ad says you can make 10 to 12 movies for your portfolio by the time the 18-month program is over for Toronto Film School. So, and I mean, once that's done, this opens up a whole lot of jobs. Like I could try and be a video editor, which I probably could do now. I could look at jobs at director, cinematographer, sound design editor, which I do right now anyways for free. I don't have any projects that I freelance or anything like that. Just a lot of options, and it's an industry that I want to work in, but I also know that it's a very competitive industry. It's very hard to get into, and if I can't get into a job at a place doing it, I'm going to do it myself, essentially, is what my thought is. If I can't get, I'm not... Do I expect to become the next Peter Jackson, the next Spielberg? No. Would I love to do? Yeah, of course. I'd love to make movies as my living, as my livelihood. But I don't see that happening. I just want to make them because I like making movies, and it's something I really want to do. I know it's hard work. I know it's a lot of stuff, but it's what I want to do, and that's one thing I'm going to strive for. So those are kind of my goals. And that's pretty much it. In terms of video stuff, I'm going to make it really brief. My usual stuff, Power Plays is going to continue. I'm going to try and keep doing weekly Henshin times or Amiibo times, depending on... I like to do them Henshin time, Amiibo time, Henshin time, Amiibo time, like opposite weeks. For that, I've obviously had some setbacks for a few things, but I am going to get on it, and once the wave 1 of Amiibo time is finally done, like the first wave of Smash, I'm going to start mixing it up. Because I've got a ton of Amiibos that I've wanted to do videos on, but I'm just like, I gotta get Smash Wave 1 done first. So, that's coming. Game reviews, got some in the works right now, and I've got some planned, and I'm gonna get some more. So that's on the way. I also have a big announcement coming soon about future projects, so look forward to that. I don't want to talk about anything yet, but I'm going to be announcing it soon. So keep your eyes on a few notable channels. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I do have some new ideas for videos. We'll see what happens. But that's pretty much it for my year-end review and outlook on 2016 coming up. And hopefully it's a good year. Hopefully I got a lot of stuff to come out. And hopefully I keep up all my goals, because so far so good. I'm doing pretty good so far. Even though we're only a week into the year, I'm still doing pretty good. So, anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for staying viewed with me. It really helps me that that you share those videos around Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Really gets my name out there, and I really do appreciate it. And I appreciate all the comments and stuff, and people give me suggestions. I love it. And just generally, thank you for watching, and thank you for coming back every year to see my stupid video about what this fat Canadian guy who's going to do for the next year, maybe do for the next year. We'll see what happens. So, I can't stop yawning, so I'm going to go. But thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in 2016, which we're already in. So, see you now, I guess. Bye.